Hi there, my name is Neal Smith and I'm a local lender. I am sharing this because I get asked all the time about doing client events, and I've done a ton of client events over the years. And recently I just did a client event where we did a virtual cooking class and it went over extremely well. I spoke about that for a national conference for Michael Mayer's Referrals Mastery Summit. Michael is the author of 7 Levels of Communication. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get something out of it. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me at Neal, Neal, at teamnks.com. My cell phone, 916-718-9816. Reach out. I really think it's so important in our industry to be able to show appreciation to our clients, and what a great way to do it through an event. Enjoy. Hi there, my name is Neal Smith and I'm a lender in Sacramento, California. I have a branch called NKS Financial and we are part of Finance of America. We are licensed in California, Washington, Oregon, Nevada, Arizona. We do both forward and reverse mortgages as well. I've been doing loans for 29 years now, and by referral for a long time of that, majority of my career. But it really wasn't until I met Michael and read the book, 7 Levels of Communication, that really resonated to me, because Michael has so much thought that he's put into all of these systems. And, like I said, I've been doing business by referral. I've done a lot of client events. And for instance, one of Michael's little systems, I would do a client event. I'd have hundreds of people at a movie theater, for instance. My wife would be saying, "Hey, what's your ROI? How many referrals did you get?" And I'd be like, I don't know, not really sure. And it wasn't until one little system Michael talks about is a door prize entry form. And it wasn't until I put the door prize entry form in play that I actually knew how many referrals I got from that event. And that really changed everything for me. And that is something that you'll learn Michael has a class coming up called Event Mastery that's after RMS. That's a class that I highly, highly recommend that you do if you've done an event, or if you haven't. You really need to do the push to get to the next level and do these client events. They really do work. I promise you that. I promise you. So a little background on me, right? I discovered Michael. I was able to be a part of Michael's Certified Referral Trainer program. I'm also one of his 30 Mornings coaches and a regular coach as well. So I've been around Michael and systems and what he does and everything, and I'm learning constantly from him. It's been a pretty cool ride so far. And my business really resonates around caring is the one word that we have. And that is so symbiotic with this generosity generation. And that's why it's just such a fit for my practice and what we do. It's pretty cool. And so, today we're here to talk about a virtual event, top YAP. So these are your top clients. You're gonna probably spend a little bit more money or not, but it's gonna be a smaller, more intimate affair. So, but you're doing it virtual, and that's the key and the kicker. And the history around this whole virtual thing, obviously, COVID was a big deal, right? I hired a marketing person part-time to do events, had my first event March of 2020, and guess what happened? All this COVID thing happened, right? And so luckily I canceled that event, and that was an in-person wine tasting class that I was so thrilled and excited to do. I can't say we canceled it. Technically, we've postponed it. We still haven't had it yet. So I'm looking forward to that. So it's nice because I have that event pretty much all teed up. So that happened. As we were going through COVID, I was struggling with the virtual stuff, and I was seeing what Toril and Johnny were doing. They're doing some pretty cool classes, right? I was like, that's interesting. But I'm like, I'm not really a scavenger hunt person. It just didn't resonate to me. And then Nicole Aldaz did a s'mores event. I thought that was pretty cool, but it just wasn't for me. But January, February of this year, 2021, I attended a chef doing a virtual cooking class where he prepares all the ingredients, labels them, all that stuff. You go pick it up, and you come home and you cook it. And the neat thing about it, the chef, is he's teaching you different cooking strategies and what have you. And after attending a few of those, I'm like, God, this thing is really, really cool. I want to do a client event around that. I was able to talk him into doing that to me in May, before things really opened up for my clients. So we did this. It was extremely successful. I think I had 23 families attend, and there's some logistics around that we'll talk about. I am going to have a handout for you that you'll be able to take and you'll work through. You can also reach out to me on this, because there definitely are some little landmines, if you want to say, or little tricks and tips that you need to do. So just like any event, you start with your budget. Okay, you really understand how much you're going to spend. Is it going to be beer and burgers, or is it going to be caviar and champagne? That's any event that I ever do, that's where I start. The neat thing, another tip, trick, if you want to say, within 7L, which I've never done, is you can have sponsors. You could literally get this event paid for. Pretty cool, right? And so that's the thing to think about, is even if you do have the budget, you still can get the whole thing paid for. So I decided to do this virtual cooking class. I had the first biggest thing under my belt is I got the chef to say yes, and he gotten comfortable with it. I would definitely say this is probably the hardest thing to get done, is getting a chef that has is comfortable enough to do this, that has the staff to be able to package everything and label everything so that your clients will have this. We picked chicken and veal piccata. I had the dish already. He wanted to do something else. I said, no, I know this dish. I know you did a great job with it before. So I kind of stifled his artistry, if you want to say, but I knew it was going to go over well. The other piece of it, you could be vegetarian. You can also be gluten-free too if you wanted to. So there are some nuances that you have to really consider when it comes to people's appetite restrictions and diets and all of that stuff. So the chef. My next one I'm looking to do this in the February timeframe. This current chef can't do it. I've had 2 other chefs that said they couldn't do it as well, or they got skittish with it. I do have one chef who has a catering business. I've talked to him already. He has a commercial kitchen. The one thing we don't know is we don't know what his Wi-Fi's like, and that's really, really critical. But I'm talking with him. We're going to be talking through all of that. Hopefully I'm going to be able putting that together, because that's really critical for you, is that you got to get that person involved there, that you know that they're going to deliver a good product and all of that stuff. That's mission critical in this whole space. Okay, so you've gotten the chef. The next thing you got to do is pick the date, right? Pick what you want. Next piece, we always have a charity. That's another thing Michael teaches. Always have a charity involved. With my group of people love the SBCA. So a lot of times the events that we're doing, we have the SBCA around it. This particular one, we actually didn't. We did it with Keaton Raphael. It's a children's charity. So with cancer, with regards to cancer. So we had them. I was able to get the executive director on the phone through an introduction, said, hey, would you mind doing one of these events and come on and talk about it? The key is he only talked for 5 to 10 minutes, gave an overview. We sent out information, and they're such a small charity. They didn't have, like, we could put code whatever to show how much money we donated through this, but people were able to donate, and I think he was happy just to get name recognition, and it's a local charity to my area, so it's kind of cool. So we picked the charity, we got the chef, right? The next thing is your invitation and who you're going to invite. Really important. A lot of times you can use, there's a lot of other invitation softwares. I particularly don't like a lot of them out there. I use this thing called Greenvelope. It costs a little bit of money. However, you start having your different events, you start having these people in this event, and they basically stay in. It's almost like a little database in there. It's pretty cool because you can create an invitation that looks super cool, that's not snail mail, but it looks cool, and it actually opens up and it has the invitation there. They can pick different things, like if they have any food allergies, how many people they're going to have, all of that stuff. They can do all of those. Those details are in this invitation software. Really, really slick. As well as sending it via email and text. We have bounce backs as well that we see, and we can send to various groups. We can resend to new people. We can also send to the people that didn't open it, the people didn't respond, the people that responded. So just reminding them. So there's a lot of bells and whistles, and you can schedule all of that in the software. Greenvelope, and I'll put that in the thing. I highly recommend it. It doesn't cost that much money, but I highly recommend that. So we've gone through budget, we've gone through chef, talked about charity, dates. I think Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday is a really good date. 5:30 to 7 o'clock is probably a sweet spot for this, because you don't want it to run too long, and that's the other thing you got to talk to the chef about. Is I've been in a couple of them where they went too long, and next thing you know, the people are tired and you've lost their interest. You got to make sure there's a dish that they can cook pretty quickly. The nice thing about this, you're going to be on, hopefully, with them, and you're going to be there as a participant. You're not going to be cooking. You're going to be there as a host. That's a really important thing to do. So other thing too, have a tech person that everybody can reach out to if they have any problems, because we're going to be doing this via Zoom. And also have a person in charge of photography, and they are going to be taking different pictures of the screens, all of that. You're going to also ask people to take pictures of the end product and their process. I think that's really important. You can totally do fun stuff with it. Have them take pictures and tag you. I'm kind of weaker in that space with internet and social and all of that stuff, but I'm working on it. And so that's one of the things that we miscued a little bit on this event, is we didn't put it out there as much as we could have via social. Door prize, okay? I was struggling when I was ready to do this. I'm like, oh my God, how are we going to do the door prize? Are we mailing it? What are we doing? And then I called Nicole Aldaz, and she's like, you can do a Google sheet. And I'm like, oh, cool. And so she sent me what she did. We used the Google sheet. So we had people signing, because we sent them stuff with the door prize entry form beforehand, and we had their Google sheets beforehand, and we'd printed them out, folded them up. So I had entries of each person that we had in a bowl beforehand. And then during the event, we actually said, hey, it's not too late to get a door prize. And I didn't care if somebody put a second door prize in there. It didn't matter to me. And this is where I said it really is important to say it monetizes it, right? This particular event, I think I got 7 referrals. And that's really typically about what I get. I'm not rock star status like Toral, where I think she just did an event, got 60, 70 referrals for her and a bunch of referrals for her vendors. I'm not there, but with my stuff, it works. I'm getting 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 referrals is what I'm getting per event. And the key thing is top of mind, and these clients love it. This particular event, I promise you, will go a long way. I've had multiple people months later say, wow, that was a cool event. When are you doing that next time? So that's really cool about this. So typically what I do before any Zoom event, meeting, whatever that I'm hosting, I get on 15 minutes before. I recommended the chef do that as well. So we got on, made sure all the stuff is okay. I managed the chat room so I did the introduction, what have you. Then I introduced the chef. I had the charity come on. They did their stuff for 5 to 10 minutes, talked about that. And again, I let the guy, the executive director from the charity, he was able to stay on if he wanted to cook. We gave him the whole cook and everything to do, all the ingredients. So the key is you are the host, okay? And you want to participate as we're going through this event and maybe teasing somebody about doing something. I had one time where a friend of mine, she texted me on the side and said she was joking around that her sous chef, aka her fiance, was behind schedule. So I was able to tell the chef, hey, can you slow things down? But then I teased to everybody and said, hey, I understand somebody's sous chef is having too much bourbon and he's a little slow right now. So chef, can you stop, And so that you can just get the different interactions and just be yourself. These people like you. These are the people that refer you ongoingly. And unfortunately, with all this COVID stuff, we can't do the face-to-face stuff as much. Like I said, I think I'm going to be doing this virtual event with COVID or without. I'm going to want to do this event down the road because it's so cool with the cooking in your home and all of that. I included a bottle of wine. Now I've done quite a few virtual wine tastings with different wineries this year. This one particular winery, I happened to do one. I know a little bit about the wine. I included a bottle of a Pinot that I thought would go really well with their food. And so I talked a little bit about that as well, and then gave the clients information on the different food. We got through the event, door prize, picked the different entries. We made sure that we picked it in front of everybody. I think it's much more fun to do that. Yay, 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 all that kind of fun stuff. And we made sure to get them the different door prizes that we wanted to. And you can have your different door prizes, whether it's the mugs or whatever, or gift certificates. You have them, say, hey, which would you prefer? You can do that very, very easily. I've also done different raffles where I have people put 1 to 100, and whoever's closest on it, I write down a number. Whoever's closest, you can do it that way as well. There's a lot of different ways to do it. I do think you need to be present to win, though. I think that's really important. So you've done the event. It's going to go over well. I promise you. You're going to get a lot of text and love and all of that stuff. And you're going to need to realize right after the event, you're going to need to be thanking people, maybe talking to a few people. They're going to call you, what have you. So you'll do that, okay? And then enjoy your meal, hopefully. And I do recommend, so like I did, is have my wife and a few friends over cooking while I was doing the hosting of the event, okay? But if that's not how you're gonna do it, I do recommend that you had somebody there just in case you needed something so that you could still play host. I think that's really important. So after the event, you're gonna email everybody thank yous, hopefully sending some pictures, hopefully posting some social, right? Unfortunately, we didn't find out how much money was raised to charity, but we sent out the reminder to everybody to donate to charity. That's it. I mean, pretty simple. It was a great event. Like I said, I'm looking forward to doing another one. I'm going to be doing, my next event is actually going to be live. I'm going to be doing a pie day. I'm going to do some different spins on it. I'm guessing I'm going to do it in the backyard, which I've done most of my actually all my pie days there in my backyard, except for when I helped another real estate office with their pie days. But I've done it in my backyard. I'm going to guess we're probably only going to have like 25 people there. We're going to have it catered, and we're going to have pies for people that aren't comfortable coming by. And they can maybe do a drive-by, and we'll probably have somebody there just handing out the different pies that we do. And that's a whole nother system event and another talk. Like I said, I'm going to be doing hopefully a version of this event again with a new chef that's a client first quarter of next year. So I'm looking forward to that too. You can always reach out to me. I'm available. I am a little busy these days, just like everybody else, but you can reach out at Neal, Neal, at teamnks.com. I'm also in the Generosity Generation. You can always message me on Facebook. I can do that as well. And we can even schedule a time to talk a little bit about some different things if you have any questions and stuff like that. Again, Event Mastery. Really, really recommend that you sign up for that. I promise you, you're going to get value out of it. And I promise you, you're going to start monetizing this event. If you saw the video that I shot with Michael before RMS, we were talking about the Great Retrace. That's the other thing. You need to make sure to call the referrals that you get from this. I promise you will get referrals. I coached somebody and they got 14 referrals from an event, and it was a month later and they didn't call anybody. I know that sounds insane. The person was a little overwhelmed. Whether you call or somebody on your team calls, it's extremely important that you call that referral and you call the person that referred. Extremely, extremely important. Hopefully, you're also going to retrace them and get some more value out of that. In this particular event, I think I said I got 6-8 referrals, somewhere in there. I did already have a retrace though with a new referral source from this event. So it really was really fruitful for me and also memorable. And that's the thing that I'm gonna leave you guys with is the clients love you and you gotta love on them, and you give a giver, and I promise you, they're gonna give back. Anyways, take care and hope you have a great rest of your RMS. Take care. Hey there, well, I hope you got value out of that. The whole thing here is show appreciation to your clients. I'm showing you one way to do it through having events. It has worked extremely, extremely well for me, and I hope it does you. And I hope you are inspired to go and do something. You can reach out to me on the how-tos for the handout and all of that stuff at neal@teamnks.com, 916-718-9816. Anyways, make it a great day. Take care.